What y'all think about?
I'm gonna tell you the problem when it comes to fucking with girls who have money and where men go wrong. We know that men are supposed to be providers and protectors. It is extremely important to a man's ego to know that he's able to take care of his woman, which is fine until you come across a woman who's independent. Now here's the real question. Are you able to still provide without providing financially? Most men are so lazy to offer you anything else that they rather just pay your bills. Most women are in relationships because they need the man financially. So when that's off the table, what am I depending on you for? Because it's not financial, so can you support me to be a better woman? Can you learn to cook for me? Can you clean? Can you be there for me emotionally? And then they say you're too masculine for them. When the problem is you don't have anything valuable to bring to the table other than your money.
What are y'all thoughts on that? What y'all think? Y'all think she had a valid point? Y'all think she was just blowing smoke? Y'all think her perception was a little off? What y'all think about that? Before I speak, before I say exactly what the issue was, because I'm gonna tell you she was off. She was off with pretty much everything except the part about men getting an ego boost from being able to provide. But that's not just attributable to men, that's also women as well, because no woman wants a man that she doesn't feel can provide. It makes a woman feel good to know that she has a man who can provide as well. Hence, that's why women tend to be attracted to men who have access to resources. I mean, imagine a group of women sitting around, bragging on their men, and a woman has a man who doesn't provide. She'd be embarrassed. She'd be scared to say anything about it. He wouldn't be worth discussing. He wouldn't be worth bragging on. He wouldn't be worth touting. You think the men she dealt with didn't have monetary value? That's probably the strongest possibility. That's probably what it actually is, because anytime you hear a woman give a story about something or what she's observed is typically from her own experience. So that's probably true. She got money, but can she rub her own feet at the end of the day? Can she vent to herself when you just want to bring problems to her friends? Can she? Exactly. There you go, Dax. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Her perspective is so skewed. First of all, most women aren't with men because of their financial situation. Now, if you're talking about marriage, then yeah, women tend to date men who make more, if not as much, make more than they do. But her presumption that most men only bring financial value is erroneous. Why? Because she completely forgot about the emotional factor. She forgot about the fact why women tend to get in relationships with men anyway. And yeah, men also provide protection, which is also security, comfort. All of those are byproducts of being with a man that you feel can protect you. Security, comfort, stability, a peace of mind, knowing that you can walk down the street and when he's with you, guys won't approach you, knowing that when he's respected, guys are going to respect you because they respect him. All these are simple things that go a long way and play a huge impact in a woman's attraction to a man and why she would even get with him to begin with. Financial aspect is just one dimension, and yeah, it's according to studies in using the metric of marriage, it's the most significant. But that's not why they typically do, because at the end of the day, women will still turn down men with money if they have no character. If they have no character, if they have no charisma, if they have no integrity, anything about them, something about him has to arouse her. Now, I will say men who make money tend to have those qualities, because it's hard to be successful and make money without those qualities. It's hard to be successful without that disagreeableness. It's hard to be successful without that assertiveness. It's hard to be successful without that confidence. It's hard to be successful without some charisma. Those things, it's difficult to be successful without those things, but those things are a byproduct of what women are actually attracted to when it comes to the financial aspect. The guy who typically has money is the guy who's typically going to be those things, but not all the time. See, and for her to say that, she completely, and what I say in my video, I said, when women say things, they don't account for the emotional variables. When women say things, they don't account for the emotional variables, because they're only talking off what they think would be the case if they were in the situation from the outside looking in. But the problem is, when you're on the outside looking in, you have no emotional investment in that situation. And if you have no emotional investment in that situation, then it's hard for you to gauge exactly what you would do, how you would go about it, what you wouldn't do. It's hard to determine any of those things if you don't have any emotional investment in that situation. And that's why I say you can't listen to what they say. But this example, and this is a different example, because typically women will say what they will or won't do, but in this case, she made men just money objects, which we are to a degree. We are money objects to a degree, but a lot of the times women will tell you what they're attracted to. If you ask them, what do you like about this man? The fact that he has money is not going to come out her mouth. She's not going to say because he has money. We can look at a guy who's unattractive, or we don't know, and see that he may not have some things about him that women may be attracted to, and you could be like, okay, yeah, she like him for the money. But when you ask a woman who's with a guy who has money, why does she like him? She's going to go to saying things about his personality. She's going to go saying things about his dick game, saying things about the ways in which he either make her release dopamine or makes her release oxytocin. That's typically what you're going to hear come out of her mouth. She's going to describe everything that makes her release dopamine, that excites her, or that helps her release oxytocin, which is sexual pleasure. So for her to say that men don't bring anything to the table outside of monetary value, especially if women have their own money, is disingenuous. And it also speaks to how she projects what value financially money plays in a relationship. She assumes that because she has her own money, that the fact that she assumes that she makes her own money makes her that much more appealing. You hear her say, I have my own money, I can take care of XYZ myself. And women kill me when they say that, because if you have your own money, why don't you take care of the man then? Why do he need to bring, if money is that important and you have your own money, why aren't you the one taking care of the man? And I often say it's because they don't have the same desire to do it, which is why I don't understand why they brag about having their own money. They brag about having their own money, but at the end of the day, what does a man do with his money? When a man has his money, a man spends it to make everybody else around him better. He spends it to take care of everybody else. He spends it on everyone else outside of himself. That's the purpose of the money. The purpose of him making money is not to brag and say, oh, I got my own money, I got my own money, I got my own money, I got my own money. That's what women do when they make their own money, because they want to prove that they're capable of surviving without a man. And if you just doing it for those bragging rights and it actually doesn't benefit anyone else, then it's pointless. It has no value. That's why I say, when a woman brags about her income, the only thing she's doing is tooting her own horn. When a man brags about his income, he's speaking to his ability to take care of a family. He's speaking to his ability to provide. He's speaking to his ability to sustain a healthy lifestyle, to provide his family, his children, with optimal possibilities that ensure that they will grow up in the best way possible. That's what a man is doing when he talks about his income. When a woman talks about her income, she just wants you to know that she can buy shit on her own, which doesn't make sense, because if she in a relationship, she's still gonna want you to buy stuff for her. She's still gonna want you to give her money to get her nails done. She's still gonna want you to buy her gifts. She's still gonna want you to do all these things that are symbolic of how much you care about her. That's why it's pointless when they talk about how much money they make. But that's what you hear her saying. You hear her saying that as if the money that a man brings doesn't provide value already in itself. Well, most men can't provide. They don't have anything to bring to the table if they don't have money. Women set it up that way. Women set it up that way. Men didn't set it up that way. If women like men who collect bottle caps, guess what men would be trying to do? Men would be going out trying to collect all the bottle caps they can find so that they can attract women. Women set the standard on what men should try to be so that they can attract women. Men didn't start that standard. Women set that standard. So it's contradictory to say what other value do you bring to the table if it's not money? Well, his money doesn't hold the same value as your money because his money makes the whole community better. Your money is just for you to go on social media and say, I make my own money. You making your own money is for you to make yourself feel good and pat yourself on the back because, bruh, feminism, in the name of feminism. His money is actually still valuable towards the community. And when I say community, I mean whoever he incorporates into his circle, whoever he takes care of, whether it's his extended family, whether it's his actual community, such as the church, whether it's his children, his wife, whoever he's looking out for. His money actually has a lot of value. His money brings a lot of value outside of, oh, you just make your own money. Like, men, we ain't saying we make our own money. It don't mean the same thing when a woman makes her own money versus when a man say he makes his own money. And we don't even have to state it, because you can look at what I wear, you can look at how I speak, you can look at there are cues around me that show you I make my own money and I get money and I'm successful at what I do, or I'm good at what I do. Whereas, women need to overtly state that. They want you to know that. And then a lot of them lie. Let's not get into that. A lot of women lie. A lot of women lie about the money that they make. When they say they make their own money, she talking about some arts degree from a top 10 liberal arts college that is actually 30, 40K a year. She's making her own money. But when them babies come and she a single mother, that 30, 40K a year don't mean shit. It's going to be hard to take care of a kid on 30, 40K and let her have another one. It's going to be hard to take care of them kids on 30, 40K. Most women who say they make their own money, they mean they make their own money doing the insignificant amount of work. But yeah, you got it on your own. You got it. I mean, if that makes you feel good, it makes no difference. What's making your own money when you got a dude who make $300,000 a year trying to talk to you, trying to court you, trying to get with you, and you make $70,000 a year? Even if you make $70,000, which is awesome, which is awesome. If a woman makes $70,000 a year, that's almost twice as high, especially in the black community. That's almost twice as high as the income for a black woman. $70K a year. But what does your $70K a year mean to a man making $300K a year? I got my own money. Okay. Okay. I make 3.3 times that. I make about 3.3 times that. You can't buy with $70K what I can get with $300K. I still can create a life for you better than you can create for yourself. That's why women should stop trying to downplay that. The fact that don't say money is important on one end and then try to downplay the fact that money isn't as important on the other end. It's nothing but contradictions. They're walking contradictions. That's what pisses me off about them. That's what pisses me off about them. But as I said, she didn't account for the emotional factor in that video when she went on that rant. She didn't account for everything that men do outside of monetary value, the intangible shit, the shit that can't be quantified, the emotions that you feel. Because at the end of the day, a woman is still going to get in a relationship with a man that does something that arouses her or excites her in some way, sexually, makes her laugh, is masculine, is confident. Women still get with men who bring something else to the table outside of the monetary value, because that's who they want to secure the connection with. That's who they trip about. That's who they get insecure over. That's who they want to know where you at, what you doing, where you going, what time you gonna be home. That's the kind of guys that they trip over. A guy who giving good dick, and a guy who can put food on the table and a roof over her head and clothes on her back and her children's back. That's the bottom line. So it just makes no sense for her. It makes no sense for her to sit there and make that statement about men not being able to bring any value outside of the monetary aspect, when the monetary aspect correlates to almost every other characteristic of a man that excites a woman, that excites or arouses a woman. The men who make the most money, the men who make a lot of money, these men have the characteristics, the personality traits, the all the above that make him attractive overall. Many of them do. And let's not forget, they're only a small percentage of the total population. So many of them do. That's how they became so successful to begin with.